Alright guys, welcome back to the KCCR. This time, we're going to be going over a game that I refer to as Mabinogi. Now, it's probably pronounced Mabinogi considering, but for years I've been referring to it as Mabinogi, and that's not going to change. Either way, let's get on with this. Alright, as you can see, we're on my character select screen. Now, when you start Mabinogi for the first time, and do not have any characters, or if you've been playing and you create a new account, when you are brought to this screen, you have two character cards. You have a free character card, which is pretty much used to create a new character, and you have I believe a 7-day horse card. As you see back there, I have a horse, but that's different. Now, you'll notice on the right here, I have Valvorian, my elf, and then I have two pets. Now, I actually have more than that. Mabinogi is a game where you have 3 races. It didn't used to start like that, but as of the current, what do you want to call them? Chapters? Expansions? They're referred to as generations, but to his own, I suppose. The 3 races consist of elf, human, and giant. You can't really see my human because he's covered in that. That's my giant. I really don't play them. Now, when I started Mabinogi, there was only humans. But as the generations expanded, you got elves and giants. As to how it works out nowadays, acquiring new characters, I'm not sure. But I unlocked my, as you see on the right there, over here, Lothlorn and Katerva are assistant characters. I went and talked to the leaders of the capitals of the giants and the humans and unlocked a elf character card and a giant character card. I believe nowadays, though, you can just start as either. I'm not sure if, say, you start as a giant, if you can unlock a human and an elf assistant character card. So I can't give you that detailed information. Let's go ahead and go back to favorites here. You notice down here you have start and rebirth. Well, the rebirth system works as such. When you hit the age of 20 or you wait 1 week post a rebirth, you are allowed to start your character over. A free rebirth happens once your character hits the age of 20, upon which you click the rebirth button. I won't do it because it brings you through a cutscene, and I can't do it as my character age isn't 20. And you can reset your, as I said, free rebirth. You can reset your age and level. You can go, the age differences are 10 to 17. And every Saturday that comes, you gain a age up. The differences in stats, it's hard to get into because I don't know it all by heart. I just know that if you go really low, like 10, I believe you have an increased dexterity gain, and if you go to 17, I believe you have a higher intelligence gain. Feel free to correct me, Mabinogi hardcores out there, because I don't remember. I rebirthed to 17 simply to get a free rebirth, but now on the other hand, if you want to do a paid rebirth, you buy a character card from Nexon. Obviously, it's cash shop type stuff. It's not that much. I believe it's like $8, $10. And you can rebirth once every week that goes by. You do not have to be 20. So say you rebirth to 10. You would have to wait a few months to, you know, per Saturday to gain 20. But a paid rebirth, you can do it either way. Alright, now the customization aspect, I'm going to actually have to log in and show you, so give me a sec to do that. Right. Now we're here at the beauty shop. This didn't used to exist when I was initially playing Mabinogi. This is fairly new in terms of how stuff works. It used to be the only way to acquire premium looks, which are pretty much just some eyes and hair and skin and faces and whatnot with a little star on them to say they're premium. You used to have to purchase a premium character card and rebirth with that card. Now it's a little different. There are no premium character cards anymore. There are only, I believe they're referred to as talent type cards and basic rebirth cards. So people who start for the first time can purchase a card that has all the premium stuff within it, but somebody who's already been playing cannot purchase that card and rebirth into it, although you can still purchase a basic card and rebirth into it, which locks you out of some stuff. The new thing, on the other hand, is, you see, man, the beauty shop. You go in here and you talk to this female, Coco. Click on, I mean, you can talk to her and bring up conversation, but that's not what we're doing here. You hit beauty shop. Now, you just, oh god. Okay. You're brought here Notice I don't have any stars or anything next to any hairstyles or eyes, because it doesn't work like that anymore that I'm aware of. Obviously this shows it doesn't. On the other hand, you have what's called pawn. It's a currency, you can purchase that, and it's actually cheaper. Let's say you just want to change your hairstyle and hair color. Well, purchasing a set amount of pawns cheaper than buying a rebirth card to do it. It's like a few cents. So I can understand that. You stock up on that and you're good to go. Over here, it doesn't really matter, facial expression. So we're going to go ahead and come over here and show you some stuff. Alright, now, giants, humans, and elves don't all have the same hairstyles and obviously same faces, and I believe there's even less faces for a giant. There may be more now, I haven't looked, but I'll go ahead and do that after I show you the elf stuff. Generally speaking, the different faces are as such. That's one I already have. You've got like this. I'll zoom in, give you a general appearance. Right? Some of them have tattoos, some of them have different ear angles, and so like that, and different facial shapes. But that's pretty much the extent you have, and obviously you can change the skin color. Elves cannot have dark skin as well as dark hair. I know, don't ask me why that makes sense. I didn't make the game. If I could, I would have black eyes and black hair, but whatever, right? You can change your skin color with the few sets you have. These are not dependent on the face you choose here, so they're all going to have access to the same skin color, so whatever. Alright, then you have a hairstyle. There's a fair amount of hairstyles to go through, so there's generally, and I'll go ahead and show you them. I don't know why I cannot seem to spin him outside of this, so we're going to put an angle like this and just flip through these hairs. There's some really shitty ones, and because there's no star, I don't know which is considered premium nowadays, but as I said, as there's no premium rebirth card, it doesn't really matter. And some hairstyles are better than others in terms of just overall texture. I'm going to quickly breeze through these, and if you want to see one more, then there is a website that has them all listed. Let's go ahead and flip an angle real quick to the... I don't know why it's spin so slow. I didn't used to do that. Maybe it's just my mouse being fruity. Yes. And we get to the bottom here, new hairstyles. Alright, now you can also change your hairstyle. As I said, no black. The closest you're going to get is silver. But I mean, you've got a lot of other colors. Blondes, orange hairs. You've got bright ass red. Alright, let's go ahead and ignore that for now. Let's go down to the eyes. You have another fair amount of eyes. Now, Mabinogi is a very much a anime-inspired game in terms of the facial expressions and obviously the conversation topics. It's very much inspired by an anime-esque feel. So once again, if you're not into that, you're really not going to like Mabinogi, because it's certainly heavy in that aspect. I mean, look at those eyes. Come on, where the hell are you going to fucking see that outside of fucking anime? Okay, I mean, look at this shit. But you've got a fair amount of options here too. I mean, some of them, the only differences are just pupils and whatnot, but you've got a fair amount. Closed eyes. Same with the mouths. You've got, I mean, what is this? What the fuck am I looking at? What happened to my elf? I'm not sure. This is not acceptable. But you've got this. What is that? Alright. I mean, what just happened? I'm pretty sure that's a hate crime. Okay, all right, and you can change the color of your eyes to yeah, as you can see. So I'm gonna stop this hate crime now and head over to my human and generally show you that. Fair warning, he's a nub. I haven't really used him. And we're back with my human, who seems to be making a weird pose. So let's do this to change it up. All right, as I said, notice here. Not a whole lot of facial options for the human compared to the elf. So you don't have the same amount of, well, options, as I made that quite clear. Hairstyles, you have some different stuff. You've got, once again, the slow turning. I don't know why it does that. Didn't used to. Whatever that is, it's like a combination of an afro and a pompadour. I'm not sure what exactly is going on here. But you've got a lot of similar hairstyles that can share. Humans have the option of having dark skin and dark hair, which makes me jealous, but hey, what can you do? You live with what you live with. So all the stuff isn't exactly the same, which if you asked me, I don't like it. I think that you should have access to all the same hairstyles and all the races. I just do. Facial face I can understand, and eyes look like for the most part you've got all the same stuff, but you probably have small differences in between. The mouth, yeah, I don't know why my characters keep looking like this. So there's enough to make a unique character, but when I say unique, I use it lightly because this is, I don't ever want to see this as a character fucking ever, but you have the ability to do it, and if you do something crazy like that, you may very well never run into yourself. There are enough options that you should not see a direct duplicate of yourself. Of course, I'll say it right now, every faggot elf running around does have face tattoos on, so yeah. Alright, so that's generally the human. I'm not going to bother going over the hairstyles on the human because all of them are generally the same stuff that the elf has. So if you give me a second, I'll head over to my giant and you'll see some different stuff there. Alright, and we're back with my giant who is in newbie clothes because I've literally never used him. He's essentially just storage. Which is another thing I can point out. If you only intend, let's say you have an elf or a human, and you only intend to play as your human, your other characters can and very well be used as storage. You can just put some items of yours in their bank account or in their inventory and just let them sit, log on, and swap them through the mail if need be. It's good for, I don't know, rare item storage that you don't want to sell, etc. Alright, so you have a few more face options here as a giant, with the ability to have dark skin, which apparently also changes. No, I guess it doesn't change it. So, you know, it's an interesting amount. The giants are kind of cool looking. I'm only an elf because I am an elf. Really, no options there. But this doesn't really seem to change the giant's face. It actually just changes tattoos or not. Although it seems to affect the ears over here a little bit. Oh well. You've got, like I said, you got different hairstyles here. And facial hair, which the humans and the elves do not have, understandably. Because, really, although my human is like 900 years old, you've got some stuff here. Go down and click on that. So nothing super fancy. I mean, that's a giant, it's a unique giant hairstyle. Then you've got this too, which is actually kind of fucking cool if you ask me. I mean, that looks pretty fucking badass. Yeah, so you've actually there's a hell of a lot more giant hairstyles than there used to be. So I'm actually quite surprised. There used to be like 4 at one point, but that was way the fuck back. Now, if you notice, giants don't have a lot of mouth options though. Pretty much got that hate crime mouth. Yeah, a lot of more serious. A lot of more? Yeah, we're gonna go with it. You have a lot of more serious eyes. And somehow I can still make the hate crime. Wait. Let's make it more of a hate crime. Just because we fucking can. Bam! Alright, I feel bad for what's just occurred. Okay. So, that being said, you've got a fair amount of customization, but it's hard to just show you all there is here. Now, I guess we'll go into, let's go ahead and change his mouth as we're going to. That'll work. Gear. Alright, you notice you don't have that many options for color on like eyes and skin, be it human, elf, or giant. What you do in-game for your items, and there's a lot of armor and outfits you can get. Mabinogi is pretty much run by an economy of fashionistas. You have dyes, which are sold for an exorbitant amount of money, of course, but there's anything from your basic black and white to hot pinks and purples and lots of other colors that you can use, and usually every outfit has 3... Think my DCU over there. You have 3 areas you can dye. Of course, they're acceptable areas. Like if the outfit I'm on, I were to dye, it'd probably be the gray here, the white here, and this. Probably wouldn't be able to dye that, but I'm not sure. That being said, you have a lot of customization that is more than just the face and skin and hair of your character. There are some outfits and items that you cannot dye. There are a few accessories like incubus horns and and brooches and whatnot that you can wear, but there's not a lot. Now, in terms of classes for the game, there really is no class in Mabi, which is one of the things I like the most about it. There is magic, there is melee, and there is what is referred to as life skills. I'm going to go ahead and exit this to show you because it revolves around the character creation. If you go down here to toggle skills, notice they're listed in an order. You've got fighter, which I don't have any on my giant, pretty much nothing on my giant. Fighter skills are martial arts, hand-to-hand type stuff. Music is self-explanatory. You can use things like lutes and flutes and I forget what it's called, but it's pretty much a clarinet and drums, and you can apply buffs. You know what? Give me a sec to go back to my elf to better explain this stuff. Alright, we're back to my elf. Alright, see, now I have a lot of stuff here, and I don't care what you say about my ranks of shit. Suck a dick. Music skills, you have a lot of stuff here, like music knowledge is a passive that helps you use stuff, but let's say you want to use, you have buffs, bard battle type stuff. You stand there, you play an instrument, and you supply the stats right there, min damage, max damage to your party, which is pretty cool. Now, like I said, fighter is like your hand-to-hand stuff, which revolves around using knuckles. You've got combat, which is generally the universal, you know, swords, axes, whatnot. Bow and arrow type stuff. Beast is dependent on... What happened to it? Is it empty? It generally... I don't know why it's empty. Each race can acquire what is referred to as transformation skills. The elves get falcon, which is a feathered furry. The giants get, I think it's just called beast, actually, which is a normal furry, and the humans can choose between paladins or dark knights, which is pretty cool. Alright, magic skills. A lot of these, I don't have them all learned, so get off my balls. These are your basic, like, little fire bolts and ice bolts, and you've got fireball, thunder, and ice sphere, which are like uber hard-hitting, high-tier magic. Life skills are crafting is part of life skills, first aid, campfires, resting, pretty much anything that isn't a combat-oriented something, gathering and whatnot. These are life skills. Now, there isn't a con to raising these. They all give you stats. It may require getting them to a certain rank before you can acquire some stats from them, but generally speaking, they're worth the effort to put into. If you're going archery, for example, you want to max refining. You have got to do that. I fucked up. I have too much dex, so I can't rank it. Alchemy it's harder to explain because I've done very little in terms of it. It's pretty much using a little blaster you get on your arm, and you put crystals in that you can make with like this, or gathering them, and they do things like water cannon and whatnot, shoot water out of it. It's a thing. And notice up here you've got your hotbars for your skills and stuff. So covering it, you've got a lot of hair, so we'll go over this again. Alright. Face, body, hair, colored eyes, whatnot. You've got a fair amount to make a unique looking character. Outfits, obviously, you can see right here. I've got a nice little outfit on, and then I've got ugly fucking armor, and so generally speaking, you can get outfits and change them and edit them the way you want. Just put that roll back on to make yourself look nice. Class-wise, there is none. There is only whatever skills you decide to train, and as you level up, you gain what is called AP, and you spend that AP on, let's see, skills by clicking events that requires your AP, and you gain some stats. Some skills require you to do some quests to unlock, some being used, once again, lightly. Most of the skills in the game require you to do a quest to unlock them, like 90% of them, but the quests themselves aren't usually very hard. Only the transformation skills require hell to go through, and some other stuff, but very little requires a lot of work. Races, as I said, there's not a whole lot. There's only elf, giant, human, and that's not going to change down the line, but you know, you're going to find something there, and they are different. Elves are physically weak, and don't get on me, oh, you don't know your team, dude, I'm a fucking elf, I fucking know. Humans can take more of a beating than an elf can. Giants obviously are better at everything physical, but elves are great at magic, etc., etc. The difference in ranged attack, for example, elves shoot 2 arrows at once with a bow, humans do not. As I said, colors, you can't see it in the character creation because you only really seem limited there, but all your outfits and stuff you can dye. So you can generally, let's say you like black, you can have black, though those colors are usually more expensive, but they're an option. The skills, you have a whole lot of them, so you can generally, if you want to be a battle mage, fucking do it, you totally can. There's lances, there's martial arts, as I said, there's bows, magics, there's puppetry, which I don't have the items equipped, but you can summon between a giant with the fuck and a lolly-ass puppet, so naturally I like the lolly-ass puppet. Gear, there's a lot of options, you know, some stuff requires some stuff, like hand-to-hand requires, you have knuckles, bow, obviously requires a bow, but there's crossbows, and in later generations to come, there's going to be guns. Decorations, there's not a whole lot. By decorations, I solely mean accessories that are visible on your character, such as horns or necklaces and rings and whatnot, capes even, that type of stuff. So that about covers Mabinogi. It is generally fun and rewarding to continue to play, but it is certainly hard to get into. The character creation is, well, it's limited. The character creation part is limited. On the other hand, the character progression is fantastic. You can definitely start at level nub and progress into an absolute badass. Of course, it requires a large time investment, or money investment if you don't want to invest time. There's always that in a free-to-play game. It is hosted by Nexon America. I believe it is DevCat's game. Well, it's not hosted by Nexon America. It's hosted by Nexon all over the place, but as I'm playing in America, you know what I'm saying. It's created by DevCat Studios. I give Mabinogi's character creation a rating of 64 out of 100. It's possibly the lowest rating I've done so far. But that is because of what I've shown you, and I won't change my opinion. Don't let that low score for the character creation trick you into thinking that it is not a fun game or that the character progression isn't good. I do not rate character progression. I rate character creation. That being said, there it is, guys. Mabinogi, DevCat Studios. You can find it downloadable. It's free to play from Nexon. Thank you for watching, and as always, till next time.